Good morning, everybody. I am just going to entertain you for a couple minutes while we're starting. We're starting in a few minutes. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody is taken care of. I'm going to shoot a little bit, one more email really quick here. And then we can start. So, how's everybody doing? I know I am live, but we're not actually starting for another 3 minutes. So I just wanted to make sure that everything is working and that nobody's having any questions or anything. I am going to just quickly confirm the link for YouTube and make sure that we're good. How is everybody doing? Do you want to text me good morning if you're watching? I am. Oh, somebody is watching. Wonderful. So yeah, if you're watching, send me a text. We're gonna start in just a couple minutes here. I just want to make sure that everything is good and that we are live. Yay! Okay, awesome. So that is that, and then we're gonna just check this here. And I guess I should tell you a story since you're waiting for me to start in another 2 minutes. But you know, what's the point of just looking at my hands and this little painting? I wanted to show you this little painting because it's more interesting than looking at nothing. But I can't really do any content until everybody's here, which is going to be in a couple of minutes. We're starting at 9 o'clock on the dot. So we have 2 more minutes for that. And I'm just checking to make sure that nobody's asking me any questions or... You're from South Africa, Letitia, welcome, yay. I'm from Poland. My name is Mari, but my actual name is Agnieszka, but I go by Mari a lot. It's my mom's name, and since I live away from my mom, it makes me very happy to go by her name. It is also my name, it's my middle name. So I am just making sure here that we don't have any issues. Upcoming event, so yeah, I should do this. Sorry, Letitia, I'm not very entertaining because I'm just trying to make sure that the last little bits are taken care of. And I think that somehow the Facebook event is not connected to our restream. So I guess I'm just going to start it and let's see what happens. Okay. I think it's connected. Oh yes, and I was going to Well, I think everything works. I think everything is working, and we're going to start painting in just a moment here. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting, but we're still waiting for a few more people who are joining us. So I will tell you a story while we're waiting for one more minute. While I send this quick email here. I was born in Poland, and when I was 16 years old, I moved to Canada. So I lived in Canada for a really long time. And then I became a traveler about 3 years ago. No, more than that. Maybe 6-7 years ago. I became a traveler and I started living in different places and like living a more of a nomadic lifestyle. And I work online. So I work online and I live in Mexico right now. I'm living in a Mexican hacienda. But just 6 months ago, I was living on the beach. So it's just like different kind of, it's hard to type and talk at the same time, huh? I know it's not very entertaining. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll be much better once the painting starts. Okay, so yes, I'm living in Mexico now, and I'm living in a really, really, really tiny town where there are literally no tourists or no foreigners, very, very few tourists. In the whole time, several months that I've lived here, I have met, I think, 2 tourists. So there's a hotel, but it's most of the time, I don't know if it's full, or maybe it's when it's full, it's those are relatives of the people that live here, because people come from the States, people live in the States. Sorry. I just have to send an email making sure that you guys, that the rest of the list, because Biblis has a huge following on email, and I just want to make sure that we are good. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. We are going to get rid of this keyboard because there's no need for that. We are going to switch back to the chat. Oh, look at that. Los Angeles, Alberta, Canada, my favorite place in Alberta. Really, literally, my favorite city in Alberta or in Canada is Calgary. For this Deepak, there are no fees. This is a free offering that watercolorpainting.com, bbswatercolorpainting.com is offering. And look at this cool little watercolor painting I found for you guys. This is not something I painted, but we can attempt to paint something like it today. But first, before I start, so now that I'm done all my email duties and stuff, before I start, I'm going to go over all the things that I have here and what we're going to be using. So, well, this is not necessarily first, but I do have a set of Christy Rice paintbrushes. This is actually from our competition, but I mean, not all these paintbrushes are from this set, but her paintbrushes are lovely, and I was gifted them last spring, and they're beautiful. I also have some Rembrandt paintbrushes, and I have some watercolor, like travel paintbrushes, water paintbrushes that you can put water in them. Do you see that? Vancouver Island and Tennessee and Canada. Yes, I know Vancouver Island is in Canada. Actually, I was telling you guys just before we started, you might not have been here at that time. I was telling you how I moved from Poland to Canada when I was 16. And Canada became my second home for many, many years before I started traveling more internationally and Well, actually, my first travel was to Quebec. So even though I was in Canada, I'm going to grab these Christy Wright's paintbrushes. They're really lovely. And we're going to see what we can do with them in our oh, this one is not one of those. I do have different ones. Okay, so these are our paintbrushes. Other thing that I have here, okay, so this is my palette that I'm going to be using by a palette. I had a lot of leftover colors there, and I didn't want to wash it all the way. We're going to be using some of these colors. These are Van Gogh colors. So the paints that I'm using today are Van Gogh. I do have other paints, but these ones are what I've chosen for today. And that palette also already has some of these Van Gogh colors. I also have little sponges. I don't know if I'm going to use them or what for, but we're going to see. I don't expect ourselves to use gouache today, but it is here just in case. I do expect us to use these gold and silver paints today because when painting something that's like abstract and meditative, you know, the most important thing about meditative painting is to leave the judgment home, because a lot of the times, hang on a second, can I do this? No, I can't do this. Oh look, I can see you guys. Hi. I tried to do 2 cameras today, but I could not. It crashed my system, so I have to check what's going on there. Next time we're going to use 2 cameras. So I have different pads, right? This is one of the papers that we use. That's also I'm going to be using today. This is one of the papers we use at Biblis, which is Academy watercolor paper. That's recommended by many different artists online, and it works quite nice. Another one that I quite like is Arches, of course. Here I have not quite finished painting that I was playing with. But this Arches pad is very durable, and it works really well if you want to use a lot of water. So we're going to take this painting out. Do you like it? What do you think? This is my last fantasy painting. And we're going to be using this Arches block for one of our paintings today. We're probably going to do a couple. I also have this Fabriano, and you know what? We can test it. This is one of the cheaper brands. It's not 100% cotton. It's only 25% cotton, so it's not going to absorb as much. And so when we spray this with water, we're going to see a lot of pooling, or a lot of, not a lot, but water is going to sit on top. I have a few other blocks. I might as well show you the other ones I have here. I have this unfinished painting of poppies. Yeah, I like that. That's unfinished. We're not going to talk about that today. I have this other Fabriano one that's a larger set. I also tried this burgundy paper from Hannah Mullet, but honestly, I'm not sure. Of course, it's not like the Arches one. And here I have 2 brand new blocks of Arches as well that I haven't opened yet. The fine, they're both fine. This one is a much thicker one, 640 grams, whereas this one is 300 grams. So this one, if I want to do something like super, super, super water heavy, I would use the heavier one. And then this one is 300 grams. So that means the thickness of the paper. So those are our papers. This burgundy one was okay, but not super, super great. And I think we're going to start maybe with a smaller, maybe we'll start with the Fabriano one, the 25% cotton. And the other tools that I have here, I have some paper towel, I have some cloth that I use for wiping my paintbrushes, just because it's more environmentally friendly, but then I often get annoyed with the cloth and turn to paper towel anyway, but at least, we're halfway there. And I have a spray bottle with water that I'm going to be using for spraying. Well, just looking at the chat. Hi from Quebec. Yeah, that was my first place where I traveled when I started becoming a nomad. And Boise, Idaho. Very cool. Okay, so this is I got this at the drugstore, just as well as or just as the same as the brush that I use for cleaning the palette is also like a makeup brush, but I use it for the palette. The other thing that I have for cleaning is this cool little thing. This is a paintbrush holder. You stick it on your thumb or cleaner, and then you can use these rough parts for cleaning your paintbrushes. It works quite well. The other tool that we're going to be using today is a little unconventional. It's salt. I love, okay, here, I keep doing it upside down. I love using salt for creating little blooms on the painting. And you'll see, I'm sure I'm going to use. And the last thing that I am going to show you is this triple container. Now, I've had different containers in my experience as a painter and different things, but for watercolors, I find that the triple container is really wonderful because you always have one with clean water, you know. I've tried the double-walled ones too, but I found that they're really hard to clean. So that's my opinion. Okay, so we're going to start with meditative. Okay, so let's do a quick little intro to meditative painting. What we're going to do is we're going to let go of judgment. We're going to let go of thinking that other people know how to paint and you don't know how to paint, or that somebody might do it better than you. Like, that's just not even going to be a thing, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to focus on the painting, focus on what we're doing, and pretend that you're a 5-year-old. Pretend that you're a 5-year-old, because when you're 5, you don't have any judgment. You're not like, oh, maybe that line should have been there. You paint something and it looks iffy, but you're proud of it. Remember? Like, have you seen a 5-year-old show you, iffy picture going, look, it's my dog. You know, that's the kind of energy we're going for today. But we're not going to do anything as difficult as a dog, because we're just going to do some colors, right? So if this meditative painting is going to bring our energy up and our vibration up, maybe what we should do is do a little bit of reds. I'm going to just put a couple more colors on my little glass palette and see how it works. This is actually a new thing I'm trying out, the glass. I had a plastic palette with the little divots, the little containers. And then I saw somebody using this glass thing and I thought, that's interesting. So now we're going to try the glass. I actually purchased it. I used it a couple times. Oh, that's a hard one. Oh my goodness. Okay, and we're just going to do a little bit of quinacridone pink, because that one's always uplifting. And we already have a little bit of green, but I'm going to put this lighter green next to it, I think. Or maybe it's the same. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is sap green, is it? No, permanent green. Right. Sap green is the one I was going for, I guess. Sorry, I apologize for that sound. That's not happening all the time, only every now and then. It is the church celebrating some kind of a church event today. They've been doing that every hour since 5 a.m. You know, it's a Mexico thing. We have to take it with all the wonderful things that come with Mexico. Aiken, South Carolina? Aiken, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Aiken, South Carolina. Welcome. All right. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to spray this little... Oh, come on. No, don't do this to me. I'm going to go get a different spray bottle. I just happen to have one here. Not necessarily for this. But I'm going to use it because, well, just a second. I'll be right back. I don't know the issue that spray bottle has today because it worked just yesterday, but I guess things, just like your toaster, can break at any time. I have my garden spray bottle that I use for plants. So we're just going to use that. And I hope that's not soap. That is soap. Oh my goodness. Let's get some of that soap. I guess that was still in the line of my spray bottle. Get the soap out of that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Much better. There we go. There's a little thing here. See, paper towel comes in useful. And so now that this paper is a little, it's actually quite handy having the glass table because I can make a mess, and it's not. I'm going to spray these paints too. So we're just going to work the paint a little bit so that it's more of a water color, pun intended. And then I think I'm going to just make a line. Because why not? Are you guys painting along? Are you making a line with me? And then let's make another line. Like, I'm not planning to make a tree. That was not the case. Interesting. I know I said that this paper was not going to be able to deal with a lot of water, and then I'm coming in with all this water. That's, I never said I made sense. Let's see what happens when we lay this blue right next to this pink right here. So the pink I was using is quinacridone pink, and I believe this one is Prussian blue, but not for long because they're merging. So just, coming back to the kindergarten, coming back to the time when you were allowed to just lay colors on paper and not worry about it. Because who knows? Look, I got a dry spot. Oh, and let's spray the whole thing. Why not? Okay, so this is pooling. I don't like this pooling. Enjoying this. You don't have to accept it just because it fell that way. It doesn't mean you have to accept it. You can move it. You can lift. I'm going to get some of this red here. This is Mother Lake red, or Mother Lake light. And these are Van Gogh paints. And I'm going to put the Mother Lake somewhere in here. Mother Lake is like a red that has a bit of pink in it. I'm going to see what happens when I lay down Mother Lake red in with this stuff. I think this needs some, maybe yellow. I think it needs yellow. What do you think? I'm going to wash this paintbrush. There we have some yellow. Let's come in with a different paintbrush for the yellow. We're going to do some lifting in just a minute, because some of it is doing stuff I don't like, but right now we're laying down the yellow. Yeah, laying down the yellow. Suspending judgment. Suspending judgment to see what happens. Painting the whole side of the block with yellow, probably unintended. I mean, definitely unintended. Okay, so I see some pooling here. I'm going to rinse this yellow paintbrush, and I'm going to see if I can lift. So we're going to take that excess water from here, and we're going to lift and shift. It's definitely a little swimming pool we got going there. I don't know, what do you guys think about these colors? I think these colors need some improvement. Ooh, what happened here? No. That can't be. See, for this lifting, when we're just shifting and lifting, you don't need to worry about using proper paper towels. Look how clean the yellow can be. Ooh. I think we're gonna put some pink in the yellow. This part here is not looking very happy. So a lot of painters think that once they lay down and see this stuff here, that's the 25% cotton. That's what's happening here. I mean, we're going to use it. This is meditative paint along. It doesn't matter what happens on the paper. We're going to accept what the watercolors give us. But if you look, the paint is not absorbing in a way that I would like it to. So I think that if I wanted to do something more precise, something with a little paint, very little paint and little precise lines, maybe like a botanical illustration, this paper would be okay. And I do not know what I'm doing, just so you know. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing here in a minute. I am just sort of playing with my paintbrush and allowing that 6-year-old energy to come through me. I think that it's time for our greens. There's a lot of watery green mix here that we can use. So let's just lay that down here. What if we painted something like that we can recognize, like a leaf? Like just one leaf? Maybe. Maybe another leaf. Or maybe a third one too. I have some more leaf energy going, so maybe I should just do some leaves here. This leaf needs some guidance. And if you guys think I'm overworking it, you're probably right. I'm notorious for overworking painting. Like it looks good and then I just keep going. Hello from Chicago and Florida. Thank you, my friends. What if we did something? I think I need a different paintbrush. What if we did something red and heavy with like thick paint? Right in this spot right there. Like... It's supposed to be pinker. I'm just going in with a little pink here, making it more pink. You know, if these spots. Interesting. So, and then we're going to just do some other pink stuff here. I don't know what I'm doing, because this is meditative paint along. We're just supposed to be laying color on paper and seeing what happens. The inspiration is what guides us. I think I need more red over here, but maybe not the same as up there. Does it match? No, not at all. Is it supposed to? I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to pick up some of that quinacridone pink again, because I think that this guy here could use if the color scheme of this painting wasn't like a pink and yellow, but was more like blue and green, we could think, we could say that maybe it's like underwater swampy scene. But with this color scheme, it's like a foreign planet underwater swampy scene. Yes, I might be ruining it. I can hear you thinking that. Oh my goodness. We're going to move to another canvas in about 2 seconds here. I'm just going to... And we're going to make the next one a little bit more masculine. There's a few guys here with us. And I think that these are girly colors. We're going to do something for the gentlemen in the crowd in just a minute. So don't leave yet. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed. I have to do some more pink lines for whatever reason. What about something like a little pink, like a little blue here? We need to wash this paintbrush off. So now I successfully soiled 2 of the 3 containers of water. And what did I have on this one? Oh, that was green. I got so into my painting, I forgot what I had on that paintbrush. See this one right here? I want to lift that up. Let's wash this paintbrush. Now, in order to lift with the paintbrush, I used to have green on it, and I'm trying to go lift in pink and yellow. I mean, to make sure that this paintbrush is super, super washed. So after washing it in the other 2 waters, I am going to wash it in the cleanest water and then make sure that it's not stamping green on my paper, which is still really a little bit but it's not too bad. And I'm going to pick up some of that water, just lay down a little bit of it. I'm going to go in and lift the puddle. Lift the puddle. Oh, you know what else I said I was going to do here? Look at me leaving my paintbrushes in the water. I know you guys can give me heck for that, leaving my paintbrushes in the water. This is a part of an old shirt, just so you know, recycling and all that. Not my shirt either, someone else's shirt. But I happily cut it up because it was this really thick, almost jean-like cotton. And yeah. So I think we're good with this one. What do you guys think? Do you think we should add something else? Oh yeah, we're gonna do some purple. Oh yeah, we're gonna do some salt. But you know what? I honestly don't think that this paper is gonna handle the salt very well. Look what the stuff is doing over here. I don't know what it's doing over there. I'm going to pick up some blue, purplish kind of mist. And I'm going to do something in this empty space. And I kind of wanted it to be more purple. I picked up quinacridone pink to make it more purple. And as you can see, we can really... So this technique is another technique that you can do. I saw that it was pooling, right? Because that 25% cotton paper is very unforgiving sometimes. So I lifted my whole block to direct the water where I wanted it to go. And I'm going to lift that last little bit here a little bit. There we go. I don't know if that really added anything, but we're going to put this one aside. We'll let it dry. I'm going to show you guys at the end what happened with it. You know what? Okay, I'm too tempted. I have to do this. Yes, Mary, can you get yourself organized? No, I can't. I'm going to put a little salt on this. A little salt on this. Not sure what it's going to do, but we're going to find out in a few minutes. Because those are like little beads of water, and sometimes salt does funky things with beads of water. So let's see what happens. I'm going to put that aside over here. I'm going to take another. You know what? I'm going to take the Academy one this time. You know, why don't we try the other Academy one? You want to try that really heavy one? Let's try the really heavy one. Let's try the really heavy one. I have scissors. Do I need scissors? This is the 600-pound Arches. It's the brand new one that I haven't tried yet. And I am going to check it out. Oh my goodness. I'm a little excited opening a brand new pad of Arches. I don't know if you guys can relate, but... And I know it's not Arches. I know it's Arche. Arche. Well, we're in Mexico, not in France. And you're from New York City and other places. Okay, how do I open this? I have the tool to open these. I do. I just don't know where it is right now. So I'm just going to go with it. No. So now Arches paper or Arche paper, just so you guys know, in case you ever buy it and are freaked out by this, looks black from the side, looks black from the top, but you take that black page off and your paper is underneath. Right? A lot of people get confused by that because they think that they accidentally bought a black block, but they just put that as like to protect the paper. You know what I need to do? I need to have a little coffee. So, oh, you know what? We should do something more flowy and more blue with the gold in it this time. Do the guys like the gold? Speaking, Kathleen mentioned that the YouTube was uncooperative for her. You know what was uncooperative? My camera. I tried to set up two cameras. That one was facing me and one was facing the paper, right? So that I can look at you guys and talk to you. They're like in a little corner like those other artists have. And then show you the paper as well. But you know what my computer said? We already have a camera hooked up. We can't have another camera. That's not right. I should be able to have as many cameras as I want. But of course, my technology ability is below this situation at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're just going to check with our tech guys another day. But like I thought it would work. I should have tested it earlier in the week. It's true. I'm just looking. I'm kind of looking like I'm leaning onto the side. If you saw me, you could see that. And I'm seeing how this paper is absorbing the water and how much water I can get. This is the 640-pound Arche. So I should be able to soak it and make a little swimming pool, and it should work. Okay, I'm gonna take the biggest brush again. This one, I love the way I think she calls it the dagger brush, is shaped. This is again Christy Rice brush set. One of her brush sets. I don't know which one, but it's this one, or it came in that bag, and it was gifted to me. And oh my goodness, I dripped. I should have just accepted the drip as part of the painting. Darn it. Meditative paint along, Mari. Meditative paint along. So I'm just putting down some color here, and I'm going to see what happens, because I got a swimming pool going here. Let's get some more blue. Gentleman in the crown. Yes, exactly. 640 pounds. Wait. Yeah. Did I say 650? I like to exaggerate a little bit. The gentleman in the crowd. Oh my goodness, what happened here? Want to add. I know I did that swirly thing again. I'm sorry. Let's just work with our shades and our swimming pool. If the gentleman in the crowd want to tell us what their favorite colors are. Of course, one of the gentlemen who's staying at the hacienda with us yesterday said his favorite color was purple. So maybe I'm just being judgy. Do you guys think I'm being judgy? Okay, tell me what color to use next so I can make it more interactive with you guys. And I'm totally into getting ideas from you. The next painting we do in a minute, I'm going to show you this other thing that I did for the painting that was in the email. I did this other technique for that painting, but it didn't require wetness. Look how cool that is. So this is what happens when you get a swimming pool on your paper, right? The watercolor becomes alive and starts moving and going places. Nobody's telling me what color to use next. How am I supposed to go on? Honestly, guys, how? Is this chat not working? Somebody write their favorite color. That's a man. Oh, maybe there's no man. No, but there are men. I know some men said, hey, like Larry. Larry, what's your favorite color? Magenta. Raju. Indigo. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I can make indigo. Check this out. So that's the quinacridone rose with some, I believe that was Prussian blue. And so tell me, is this indigo enough for ya? Huh? Maybe make it more red. Oh yes, this is cool. Oh no, I messed it up. I ruined it. I ruined your indigo. I'm making some other weird. I got the wrong blue in there. Okay, let's try it again. We're just gonna fix it. Anything but green. All right, sorry, Larry. No more green. We'll go away from the green. Hang on, let me pick this stuff up because I totally messed up with the mixing of the warm blue or the cool blue, the light blue. One second, I'll grab my garbage can. There we go. See, here's the reason why I keep this. Look where these are going. These are going places. We're gonna have to do another line. I don't know. Oops, sorry. I'm sorry if you heard me bump the microphone. Okay, that purple can make. Let's make the indigo again. I'm gonna use phthalo blue here. I'm experimenting. I don't know exactly. I'm not gonna be able to tell you, yeah, that's gonna make indigo. I'm just experimenting. I have a little bit of violet here, or purple rather. You see this purple? It's dark purple. I'm gonna try to lift it out of there without getting the green and the blue. And I'm gonna bring these paints a little closer to you guys so you can see them. Yeah. I'm looking for like a red. Some of these got really dried up because I haven't used these colors for a bit. What are the, so we have the phthalo blue. I have a number of blues. That one's too light. That's Payne's Gray. I love Payne's Gray. Not for indigo. Let's see what happens when you mix these two. So I'm mixing the purple, the phthalo, and some permanent red to make a really dark color. Tell me, did I get that indigo right for you? I think I did. Now remember, guys, we're just doing this meditative paint along. This is not, there's no judgment, there's no nothing. We're just going to see what happens when we lay this color on paper. Oh, there's a fuzzy from my sweater. Apologies. We're going to cover this former green that Larry said anything but green. I'm just going to, like, I have a lot of this indigo on my paintbrush, right? And there is so much water in my swimming pool over here. So let's see what happens if I just do this. Maybe I'll do a vignette with indigo. Oh, that'd be fun. Let's do a vignette with indigo. Now again, I'm doing this with this Arches paper, Arche paper, for the French speakers among us, because it gives me the opportunity to play in the swimming pool. As you saw, like, I had a lot less water on the last painting, and it was buckling, it was doing funky things. I know this paper is attached on all sides because it's like a block, but and this swimming pool I have here on the left, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like there's a little water all around the edge, but there's like a significant amount. When I say swimming pool, I mean swimming pool. We're doing an indigo vignette on this painting. We're going to see where that takes us and how it ends up looking at the end when we're done. As the indigo runs out on my palette, there's less and less on my brush when I pick it up. So, okay, we got an indigo vignette. Now, one thing we can do. I just put one finger underneath it. It's not really. You know what we should do? Isn't it allowed this? Hey, Linda from Colorado. Why did I close it so much? I gotta replace my finger so I can open the salt. Okay. The salt thing will work when the water is wetter. You like that? When the water is wetter? The salt thing will work when the paper is wetter. But when the paper is starting to dry, the salt thing may not work as well. But we're going to see what we're going to do here. Yeah, I'm tempted to keep it up for a little bit longer, because I kind of like what's happening over here with all these little tendrils and stuff. And Raju said magenta. I need to get magenta going too. I swear, I think quinacridone pink is my favorite. But we're going to, of course, darken it for magenta. Of course. Maybe we're going to use some of that indigo to darken it. See, did you guys see that? I had indigo in my paintbrush and that was fine. But as I was adding the colors, it slid into the green. And I would have put the green in there. But no, I'm not going to do that. I think it needs purple to be a real magenta. Hey, what do you think? Am I totally failing my color blending here? I wrote that book. Color blending book. I wrote it, so I should know. But I do want to see how magenta-y this gets when I add a little tiny bit of purple to it. So let's do that. Magenta-y. Do you like that? Is that a word? Okay, there we go. I think I got some really, really dark color going here. Let's see what happens when we add some water to it. I wouldn't say this is magenta. This is not magenta. What do I need to make this magenta? Hi, Gabriela. I got pink, I got red, I got purple, and I think the purple was the wrong temperature. Can we fix it? Maybe it needs, maybe it needs this. I know, I'm just experimenting. This is what I'm trying to show you guys, right? Like, I know a lot of people go to watercolor painting and they think, oh, okay, these people know what they're doing. Doesn't mean that they know what they're doing. They're like, everything is an experiment. And if it's not an experiment, it might get boring, right? Like, everything is an experiment. Even when I'm writing you an email and deciding how to phrase it and stuff, and hope that you guys are going to understand what I mean by what I'm saying, what the author had in mind. It's all an experiment. I think I failed you on the magenta front, Raju. This looks a lot more like brick than magenta. I decided to put some dots down, don't judge me. What about this darker color? What is that? Do you guys love how like every dot I'm making goes and then if it's not, let's make it do so. Yes, I would not be surprised if you think that this is a watery mess. Right? And now they're going to go flying places. Oh, let's do some salt. Where's my salt? See, because I had this underneath there, everything is going to the right, right? So the salt is supposed to go, right? But what I want to try now is I want to get these metallics out because I think this painting might benefit from some metallics. I must tell you, I miss my little sprayer. This sprayer is what I use for plants, and it's unfortunately spraying everything around me while I'm spraying. Whereas my little sprayer, when it worked, this one, it like sprayed exactly where I wanted it to spray. But you know, we go with the flow. We wash the paintbrushes. So even though I've been painting for a bit here, the water in the third container is still fairly clean because I'm doing the triple container thing where I'm washing with the first one and then washing the second one and then rinsing in the third one. And I have to say that these paintbrushes are really easy to wash. See, look, the third water is pretty clean. Totally making a mess on the table, but that's all right. All right, so I'm going to wet this paintbrush even more. And we're going to go in with this deep gold. This is a fun color. And it doesn't blend, like it kind of sits on top, right? Thanks, Raju. I'm glad great minds think alike. Am I pronouncing your name right? I do have to rinse this a little bit because my tip got picked up the indigo. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to put that back in there. But hey, the gold and the silver paint, they're actually really interesting because later, when like in certain angles, your painting might not even have to look like it has the gold on it, but then in certain angles, it will be very apparent. I'm just setting the rest of this gold here in random fashion because I have to wash the paintbrush. I don't know, I think it's time for some lifting. I'm not sure what's happening over here. Pick a side. Pick a side where we're going to go spread, huh? So I'm just dipping in the clean water because I'm lifting here. Yeah, these are metallic colors. They're from Overtone, from Germany, and they're quite strong, very strong, like a strong Polish woman, like me. Like this one is, I think it's a champagne. It's not supposed to be silver. It's supposed to be more like a white gold. But it has these really powerful, I don't know if I just ruined that word. It's a metallic silver-ish gold. Silver-ish gold. They had another palette that I didn't purchase from this brand because I wanted to see if I like it. And I do love it. I love it. I love it. But I had more like silvers and like had, I think, twice as many colors or maybe something like that. What if we just did like a big golden thing? What if we did another big golden thing right here? And then, of course, it needs a third one somewhere in here. doesn't seem the same because it's on darker background, but and then what if we in that golden thing did something light? It's a shame that so many people, and of course, not you guys who are watching me, but it's a shame that so many people, they have this, and I mean, myself included, I have to admit, when I was younger, I would have these reactions to my own painting. Like, oh no, it looks terrible. Oh no, what are the people gonna think? And there were moments in this painting when I think it looks terrible. I'm not sure if it looks terrible though. And the goal, let's remember the goal of the painting is not to make a perfect painting. The goal of the painting is to lay color on paper and lower your cortisol, release the stress. Like all week there were people that were a pain, right? Or maybe not. Maybe you have a perfect life and you just like living your beautiful, perfect, which is fine. You can still benefit from watercolor painting and meditative stuff. But a lot of us have a lot of stress. What is she doing? Oh my goodness. She's touching the tube to the paper. I did that. I'm going to use this. Do you see that? Now it's going places. The salt is really not working. I think that, you know what? The salt, I think it needs to have the right amount of water. I think that this swimming pool here is too much water for salt. But I think also that the last one had not enough water for salt. So I'm going to do this thing. Should I do this thing? I mean, it's kind of cool. I wish you guys could see it. This here. Maybe we'll just do this. Maybe we'll need. I was going to pick up the extra. See, I'm talking to myself now. I was going to pick up the extra water around the edges, and then I noticed how the indigo and the gold are actually blending and mixing. And now I'm thinking, you know what? I think I need more gold on the edges. Because it looks like a night sky, literally, where if I'm looking at a certain angle, that the overtone gold, see how it's going on in my water? Look at this. This is just a metallic paint, right? Now it's doing the same thing, but you can't see it, in this edge here, a little bit. So let's make it more. Let's do it more. I'm twirling the paintbrush as I'm laying down the paint. I'm hoping that the metallic color will stay on top. And it's getting gross, so I think I should stop touching this edge here, maybe. Or just a little bit. I love this kind of blooming thing that is happening here. And then you can choose which direction to flow. Like I said, we got a swimming pool situation here, so just gonna pick up the extra paint. Oh, my hands are gonna be terrible after today. Terrible. Oh well. Oh well. Just picking up that little bit extra water. You're getting too close for comfort. Here too. It's amazing how when I spray, the gold just pops up again, hey? I gotta need, I'm just gonna get something. 1 second, give me a second. Here I am without a palette, and I want a palette, and I can't find a palette. And what am I going to do? What am I going to do with this? Every palette has something in it. I found already 4, but you know, they were all kind of grubby. Because I halfway through paintings keep the palette going, right? But I found this one. It's metal. It'll work. We can continue without green or brick red interfering. Okay. We were told anything but green, but I want something darker. And I think that darker thing could be a purple. And I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here. How you guys doing? Are you enjoying yourself? Is this useful? Is this helpful at all? I mean, I'm just trying to remind you that when you're a real artist, you don't need to be a real artist. It's just not necessary. I know it always goes back to florals with me. I'm sorry. But look, these are going to spread out and they're not going to be florals anymore. I just like rows of things strung together on a string. You blame me? And also this painting had a little bit, it was all mushy. In like another 10 seconds, it'll probably be overworked, but you know. At least it won't be mushy. I think I'm gonna leave it. So it's first meditative, paint along painting. Oh, you know what? Maybe we need more pink. What about Madder Lake pink? Some punchy Madder Lake accents. Some of the original punchiness I had in this painting had given itself up. You know what? I think I'm gonna try to mix up magenta again. The original magenta I meant to bring into this painting, which is my favorite quinacridone pink. And I'm not even sure if I'm doing this right. Like, if some of you guys see the thing with knowledge, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something really, really deep. So get ready. Okay, sit down because it's so deep you might like fall off or something if you're doing dishes. So just because somebody knows a lot of things about a certain thing doesn't mean they know everything. Like, I can sit here and teach you about paper and color and stuff, but like, Somebody asked me to blend a magenta color, and I have no clue, right? I'm just kind of shooting in the dark here. I've never really had that thought. Um, it's not really one of the colors I use a lot, and I don't really know how to do it. So I'm just shooting myself or shooting in the dark here. I know what it's supposed to look like when it's done. I'm not sure if I'm going about it the right way, but I'm trying. Can you say overworked? Probably. Just where I picked up the vignette here, I can put some magenta. Some of this reddish color that's probably close to magenta. Here on the bottom. Just giving the vignette slight more depth because there's indigo, and then right along the edge I put down this stuff. I kind of feel like this needs something. But what? But what? Ouch. Really, some of these tubes are so hard to open them. Using my sleeve, my little sweater. Yes, I'm wearing a sweater. Yes, I'm in Mexico. I am wearing a sweater because we're way high up in the mountains, and mornings in the mountains are cold. During the day, it gets really nice and warm, and summer clothes are definitely in order. But at this time in the morning, it's still slightly chilly. I actually wore my painting shirt underneath this sweater because I thought I was going to be painting in the painting shirt. But this morning never really warmed up by 9 a.m. So here I am in my sweater. So now when you're putting down, like, okay, I know that there's different theories about these tube paints, right? And some people like to dry them out. I don't really like that. I don't know why. I like the creaminess, and I like to sometimes put them on thick. I don't like when they're all dried up. I think I'm going to go in with the gold again after I'm finished with the yellow here. Just want to create more depth of these lighter yellow sections. Because yes, I like them, but they kind of blended in after the watercolored. Because you know, watercolor will watercolor. After it did its thing, don't touch it. You're saying don't touch that one? Okay, I won't touch that one. I don't know where I heard that in my own head, okay? Let's do the more. Let's do more golden. Golden. So tell me, do you have any questions? Do you have any thoughts that you'd like to share with me? We're probably going to end in another 10-15 minutes. And I just wanted to see if you guys have any questions. You can always email me. If you're on the email list, you can email me directly, mari@watercolorpainting.com. Or if you're not on the email list, you can still email me. If you get on the email list to be like alerted to the events and stuff, you can do that by just filling out any form on watercolorpainting.com. And you can also write to me on Facebook. And where else can you write to me? I suppose you can write comments on YouTube. I will read them as well. Very interesting how this is like making all those tendrils of yellow. And then at the very core of it, there's the gold. I don't know if you guys can see it. If you all can see it. I guess we're going to do this with this one. Ooh, it's going places. It's going places. I don't hate it though. Well, I have to tell you, my coffee is completely cold because I've been ignoring it. I don't know why I thought I could paint while I'm drinking coffee. Look, I have Mexican paper towels that give me motivational messages. Nothing is impossible. That's what the paper towel says. In this one, it said something about believing and dreaming. Isn't that nice? I'm going to pick up some excess yellow from this edge here. I like the yellow going on the edge, but I thought it was getting a little bit overcrowded over there. And I don't know why I'm getting so much into it. This is the meditative part of the watercolor painting. I mean, this edge is totally almost invisible. I am doing detail work on something that's like black on black. Just adding a touch of red in there. It's gonna make me smile when I look at this painting, but I know that most people seeing this painting won't even notice it. Maybe you, Bill. You probably will. This painting needs to stay black and gold, or this edge needs to stay black and gold. But I can totally put some red in this one. So what do you think of this one? Do you like this one? I'm going to show you a third one though. A really cool one. Really cool technique. And then we can all go home. And decided to take out the swimming pool because I cannot move this painting with the swimming pool so prominent. And you know what? Look, I pulled out the swimming pool and the gold came out. I was thinking about putting more gold on this edge. But as soon as I pulled away all that water, the gold was underneath the water. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, I don't know what you think. And, whoa! Oops. This is it. It's going to continue to grow and move. We made a bit of a mess. I'm going to put it behind me here on the desk. I'm going to take that last one. This is super simple and super easy. I wanted to show you. My hands are completely messy. Okay, anybody have any questions before we end? Because we're probably going to be ending in a few minutes here. I wanted to show you one really quick stress relief thing that I do for stress relief. And this is really, so this paper, this is Bahong paper, the third one that I'm using. Academy watercolor painting paper, 100% cotton, made in China. It says it's acid free and all the good stuff. I know, I apologize for my hands. That indigo painting just did my hands in. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to move my paintbrush horizontally along the painting. This is literally what I do when I had a bad day. So I took one color and I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just going back and forth. So this movement, this horizontal side to side movement will actually allow you to start breathing more regularly. This is the meditative part. So you can just right? And then all that guy that cut you off in traffic, or that neighbor that's really annoying, and they don't do what they say they were going to do, and they just keep annoying you, all that can sort of start fuzzing out in your mind as you're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it doesn't have to look like anything. You don't have to worry about how it looks. And I'm just going to use the paints that I have on my palette here. I'm not going to overthink it. This is the bad day. I had a bad day painting, so who cares? And we just go back and forth. And then you know what? I am going to want more depth here at the bottom, because I think that my bad day painting needs a little bit more depth. See, this is a slightly cheaper paper. You can see how the glue is not letting me get to right to the edge. But that's all right, because I'm going to use my scissors after I take this off the block. I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut it off, and it's not going to be a big deal. It's a significant cost savings, this paper versus the arches. So the deep color at the bottom or at the top, the deep section of the color where I'm just going to draw deep, right? That can also be more of a stress release, as you're going into the yellow and back into the deep. And if you're like, oh, you know what, I put too much, that's okay. The exercise is about moving the paintbrush back and forth on the paper. We don't have to worry. We can lift with water. We can make it a little bit like this. Yeah, look at this. Ooh. Right? Oh, dark. When I paint it dark, I think about the dark emotions. There we go. More dark. I think that for me to feel better about my stressful day, I need to make that edge black. Let's do that. I haven't had a stressful day. This is an example. We don't use black a lot around here. Sometimes. Well, you know what? Often what I do when I paint is I take a marker, like a Sharpie, and I outline in Sharpie, especially if it's like a birthday card or something like that. Because then it's clean and crisp and super easy to do, and it doesn't require as much time and concentration as watercolor painting the edges would, in my opinion. But if it's like a work of art that I'm going to put on the wall or I'm selling for somebody, then I probably would take the time to do the edges not in black. I would do it in like a blend of different colors that was almost black but not quite black. This one I laid down here is ivory black. Ivory black. I want to make this edge as dark as I can possibly make it, because this is the representative of the things that have stressed me out. And then, I just dirtied the last clean. I just put the paintbrush in the wrong bucket and dirtied the last clean water. And so we're going to lift that out, because the dark has no place in the yellow. Let's go back to the yellow. See, there's a little bit of dirt in the yellow I dripped. I'm going to stay away from that. And I'm going to put the yellow back in the middle, yes. Because that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to move the light emotions, the non-heavy emotions, move them more. And then a little bit of dark. But that's okay. It's okay. No matter what, it's okay. Don't get too into it. Don't get too wrapped up in it. We have yellow. We have black, and on this edge we're going to make as dark as we can the red. Oh yes, this is going to be fun. I think we need permanent red. This pinky magenta is not enough for me. I need my feelings, I need my emotions to be painted, to be reflected on this. just the edge. Permanent red deep. So we're making, I kind of want to make like a mirror image where I'm making a really deep red on this side. Really deep red on this side. What do you think? So this, again, already as we spray, it makes spots, right? But that's not enough. I'm gonna make spots. And I'm gonna post these paintings. When they dry, they're gonna look different. So I think we're gonna maybe finish. We're going to finish the live stream, but these paintings will be drying for the next few hours. And they're going to be like the salt is going to draw the paint and release water and make more of a texture on this painting. And that's when we're going to do, that's where we're going to, what? I lost my train of thought. It went, oh look, I can hear a train going way over there. That's where my train of thought went. Can you guys hear the train? It's like, eh. Yep, there goes my train of thought. Now, one thing I have to warn you about is the salt, right? I try not to get the salt back in my paints. I'm putting gold back in the middle here. I try not to get the salt back in my paints because I don't know what it'll do to the formula of the paints and if it'll dry it out or whatever. So I'm not gonna put this back. Like I put the salt down, I put the gold down. I'm not gonna put this paintbrush back in gold because I don't know, but I don't wanna get the salt in there. But there you go, 3 paintings. This is number 1. This is number 2. It doesn't have to make sense. And this one was the first one we did. And you can see that so far the salt has done nothing to those little red dots. But let's wait and see. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But, oh, now I'm tempted. Okay, hang on a second. Move over. Meditative painting number 3. I haven't named him yet. What if I spray this? Now the salt might do something, and I can just wait and see what happens with the red dots as they move the water in different places. Just gonna move it down a little bit. No, this one's fine. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop because I'm definitely overworking these paintings, and I need to put this one a little bit up so that it's not going into the leaves, but it's going down. Just a slight angle for it to dry. So let's see what happens with these. And we will come back here. I will post these paintings. Oh my goodness. Yeah, maybe that's what it means. I'll post these paintings when they dry and show you what happened with these 3. And then maybe we'll get together again if you guys want. If you respond and say, yes, we want more paint-alongs. We're going to do more paint-alongs. We can do landscapes. We can do flowers. I think I just ruined the first one with the spraying, Gloria. But that's okay. We can do it again because this was the meditative paint-along. And oh, look, you can see me. Hi, guys. You can see me in the table. Hi. This was the first meditative paint-along. We're going to do more. And I appreciate you all coming here and staying here with me for this long. See, you could see me. Blow kiss. Bye. Enjoy. We'll definitely do more. We're definitely I'm going to send the photos. I'm going to post them on Facebook, and I'm going to email them via email to the email list. I don't know how to post Maybe I'll learn how to post images on YouTube too, because I don't know how to do that yet, but I will. Enjoy. Have a good day. Bye. Have a good Sunday.